Imagine walking along a tropical beach at night. The air is warm and salty. Suddenly you see something huge moving in the shadows. It looks like a giant spider, but with massive claws. This is no monster from a movie. It's a coconut crab. These incredible animals, also called robber crabs, are the largest land-dwelling invertebrates on the entire planet. They are so big and strange that even the famous naturalist Charles Darwin called them monstrous when he first saw them. They truly challenge our idea of what a crab can be, living their lives entirely on land and growing to sizes that seem impossible for a creature without a backbone. They are the heavyweights of the arthropod world. Just how big can these giants get? A fully grown coconut crab can have a leg span of over 3 feet, which is wider than the door of your car. They can also weigh over 9 pounds, heavier than a house cat or a small dog. This incredible size puts them right at the edge of what scientists believe is physically possible for a land arthropod in today's atmosphere. Millions of years ago, with more oxygen in the air, insects and crabs grew much larger. The coconut crab is a living reminder of that ancient giant world, a true titan that has mastered life on land in a way that few other crustaceans have ever managed to achieve. You won't find these amazing crabs just anywhere. They are true island specialists living on tropical islands scattered across the vast Indian and South Pacific Oceans. Their home range almost perfectly mirrors the distribution of the coconut palm tree, which is a key part of their survival. Places like Christmas Island and the Cook Islands are famous for their large, healthy populations of these crabs. Sadly, they have disappeared from many of their former homes like mainland Australia and Madagascar, where their slow growth and gentle nature made them vulnerable to changes in their environment. These crabs are a symbol of remote, untouched island ecosystems. To find a coconut crab, you need to look in the right places. During the heat of the day, they often hide from the sun to conserve moisture. They dig deep burrows in the soft sand or soil, or they might tuck themselves away in the crevices of rock formations or under the tangled roots of large trees. But as the sun sets and the air cools, they emerge from their hiding spots to begin their nightly search for food. They are skilled climbers, and it's not unusual to see one of these massive crabs scaling the trunk of a tall palm tree, its powerful legs finding a grip on the rough bark as it moves with surprising agility. When you hear the name coconut crab, you probably guess what their favorite food is. And you'd be right. These crabs are famous for their ability to eat coconuts, a feat that no other animal can manage with such skill. But getting into a coconut is a lot of work even for them. First, the crab uses its huge claws to tear away the tough, fibrous husk. This can take hours or even days. Once the husk is gone, the crab uses its smaller, pointy legs to poke through the soft eyes of the coconut shell. Finally, it hammers away at the shell with its big claws until it cracks open, revealing the rich, fatty meat inside. But coconut crabs are not picky eaters. They are omnivores, which means they will eat almost anything they can find. While fruit and nuts are their main course, they are also scavengers, cleaning the forest floor of any fallen animals. They have been seen eating rats, other species of crabs, and even birds. There are incredible stories of coconut crabs climbing trees at night to hunt sleeping seabirds. They use their powerful claws to break the bird's wings, causing it to fall to the ground where other crabs, attracted by the scent, join in on the feast. This powerful hunting instinct shows they are more than just slow-moving fruit eaters. The secret to their success is their unbelievable strength. A coconut crab's claw has the most powerful grip of any animal in the world for its size. The force of its pinch is stronger than a lion's bite. This incredible power allows them to not only tear into coconuts but also to defend themselves and to process a wide variety of foods. Interestingly, their claws are not symmetrical. One claw, usually the left one, is always significantly larger and stronger than the right. This specialized tool set makes them the undisputed kings of their island homes, able to crack open food sources that are completely safe from other animals. To find all this food, a coconut crab relies on an amazing sense of smell. For a crustacean, their ability to detect scents is extraordinary. They don't have a nose like we do. Instead, they use their antennae, which are covered in special receptors that pick up scent particles in the air. This system is so advanced that it evolved in a way very similar to the sense of smell in insects. They can detect the smell of ripe fruit, a decaying animal, or even another coconut crab from a great distance. This super sniffer is essential for finding dinner and a mate in the dark tropical night. The life of a coconut crab begins in a completely different world, the ocean. Mating happens on land where the male passes a packet of sperm to the female. She then fertilizes her eggs and carries them on the underside of her abdomen for several months. When the time is right, she travels to the edge of the sea. Waiting for the high tide, she releases her thousands of tiny larvae into the waves. These babies are plankton, tiny creatures that drift wherever the ocean currents take them. For about a month, they live this fragile existence, with most of them becoming food for other sea creatures. If a larva survives this dangerous period, it eventually sinks to the ocean floor. At this stage, it looks like a tiny hermit crab and must find an empty snail shell to protect its soft body. It will spend up to a year living in the shallows, switching shells as it grows. But then, a remarkable transformation begins. The young crab feels an instinct to move toward the shore. It makes its way onto the land, and over time its gills transform into a kind of lung, allowing it to breathe air. Once this change is complete, it can never go back to living in the water. An adult coconut crab will actually drown if it's submerged for too long. Once on land, the coconut crab's life becomes a cycle of slow and steady growth. To get bigger, it has to molt, which means shedding its hard exoskeleton. This is a very dangerous time. The crab digs a burrow deep underground to hide from predators. It then sheds its old shell, and for several weeks, its new body is soft and vulnerable. To recover important nutrients, the crab will eat its old exoskeleton. It remains hidden until its new, larger shell hardens up. This process is repeated about once a year, and it allows the crab to grow continuously throughout its incredibly long life. This slow growth leads to an astonishingly long lifespan. Scientists believe that coconut crabs can live for over 60 years, and some think they might even reach 120 years old. They don't reach their full, giant size until they are at least 40 or 50 years old. This makes them one of the longest living arthropods on Earth. Every giant coconut crab you see is a very, very old animal, a living ancient that has survived for decades. Its slow and patient journey from a tiny speck in the ocean to a massive land giant is one of the most amazing stories in the natural world. For most of their history, adult coconut crabs had no natural enemies. On their remote island homes, they were the top of the food chain. Their large size and powerful claws meant that no native predators could hunt them. This safe environment allowed them to evolve their slow-growing, long-living lifestyle. They could take their time, foraging at a leisurely pace without the constant fear of being hunted. This idyllic existence, however, changed dramatically when humans began to arrive on their islands, bringing new dangers that the crabs were not prepared to face. Their island paradise was no longer the fortress it once was. Today, the biggest threat to coconut crabs is us. They are considered a delicacy in many cultures, and their meat is highly prized. This has led to overhunting in many parts of their range, causing their populations to shrink dramatically. Because they grow so slowly and take so long to mature, they cannot reproduce quickly enough to keep up with intense hunting pressure. It can take decades to replace just one large adult crab that has been taken from the wild. This makes them incredibly vulnerable, and without protection, they can easily be wiped out from an entire island. Humans have also introduced other threats. Animals like dogs, pigs, and even certain species of rats are not native to these islands. They prey on coconut crabs, especially the smaller, younger ones that are not yet big enough to defend themselves. Habitat loss is another major problem. As coastal areas are developed for tourism and housing, the crabs lose the forests they need to dig their burrows and find their food. This combination of hunting, new predators, and shrinking homes has put the future of these gentle giants in serious jeopardy across their entire range. As a final, fascinating thought, consider this strange and morbid theory. Some historians believe that coconut crabs may have been involved in the disappearance of the famous aviator, Amelia Earhart. Her plane went down somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, near an island inhabited by these crabs. The theory suggests that after she crashed, her body may have been dragged away and consumed by the island's population of robber crabs. While we may never know the truth, the fact that this is even considered possible tells you everything you need to know about the powerful and opportunistic nature of these incredible, monstrous crabs of the islands.